Hello, my name is Clint McCandless, and today I, alongside my colleagues from team number 5, will be presenting our solution to the band Maroon and Gold 4's request for a band in a box to take with them on their next tour. The specifications given to us are as follows. The first constraint is that it must have at least one low, high, and mid-range instrument. In addition to that, one string instrument, one percussion instrument, and one wind instrument must be present. All instruments must, at the end of the day, fit into a 2 cubic foot box. They must also use no more than 10 feet of pipe, as well as 6 feet of string. The cost constraint is that each instrument must cost less than $15 to construct, and it must be able to play one of their hit singles. So we chose the hit single Ode to Joy. So without further ado, I will begin by presenting the first instrument for a band in a box. All right, so team number 5's first instrument representing the mid-high range wind instrument is the pan flute, as you can see here. So I'll just play a couple notes. So that is the pan flute. Some notable and important design features are that it is made entirely out of low-cost variable length PVC pipe and PVC caps, as well as malleable putty in the ends to allow for precision tuning, decorative adhesive covering, which you can get in a multitude of designs, whatever suits your taste. It is also very cost effective. The total cost came out to $4.78 per unit. As well as a small physical footprint. Its linear dimensions are only 6 1/8 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch, so it is very small. You'll see under pan flute calculations some of the theoretical calculations I used. So the theoretical length is the speed of sound in air divided by 4 times the frequency. With one end open, we have to apply an end correction, which is 0.61 times the radius. And then, so the actual length is the theoretical length calculated in that first equation minus the actual end correction. And so that is it for the pan flute. I will now give the floor to my colleague Jesse to introduce the basic xylophone. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jesse Nino Mackey, and I am presenting the basic xylophone build for an instrument. If you look at the basic xylophone slide, you'll see an image there of the xylophone. It looks very, very simple and nothing too fancy. And part of the reason that I went with the xylophone is because it is such a cheap thing to build. Initially, I was going to go with a hardwood, but those are more expensive. So for cost reasons, I went with a pine, and the total cost of the xylophone ended up only being $1.83 because of that. It's also super lightweight because of that wood, and it's deconstructible, so it comes apart into pieces, and you can move it around in the box to save space for the other instruments, which is very, very handy. Some of the things I learned along the way in building this were that good quality wood is very crucial. So if there's a knot anywhere in the board, it throws off the sound, it messes up the note, it won't resonate properly. So you need a board that has no knots in it at all. Which can be pretty difficult to find depending on where you look. And then when tuning the note, because you cut it to the length, but obviously that's not 100% accurate of a note, so you have to fine tune it. It's the depth of the groove in the wood that matters, not the width. So you can see that groove there. That was a groove that I made to fine tune the board to the proper note. So it's the depth that matters, not the width. Overall, it was a very, very easy instrument to build, and it sounds pretty decent. You can hear. But yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Andrew Helton, here to introduce our team's bass instrument, the diddley bow. As you can see right here, we have a pretty simple design. There are 2 bottles with a guitar string stretched across, anchored to a board. This instrument works by reducing the length of a string with a solid object to increase the frequency of the note being played. You can strike the string with pretty much anything, using a pen, and tune it with pretty much anything else. I'm using part of a wrench. It should sound something like this. Now, as you can see, there are 2 bottles. One is anchored with a couple of screws, and one is anchored by nothing but the tension of the string itself, and that is so it can be adjusted to increase or decrease the tension to the string, and thus increase or decrease the bass frequency. As you could also see, This instrument is far too long to fit in a 2x2 box by any standard. So what we can do is take both bottles out, fold the whole thing in half, and that brings it to 18 inches by 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. That's plenty small enough to fit in our box, along with the 3 other instruments. Now the cost breakdown is on slide 2, and as you can see, this came to a total cost of less than $7. But it can be made of pretty much anything as long as you have a guitar string and something to nail it to. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shonda Leaks, and I'll be representing Group 5. Today I'll be presenting to you the high-range harmonica, which is capable of playing Ode to Joy. This instrument can be constructed in many colors to match your daily ensemble at a fraction of the cost from purchasing one from the store. The range of this harmonica is very similar to the kazoo. With this harmonica, I use 2 popsicle sticks, 1 large rubber band, 2 small rubber bands, a cardboard, and some tape. It can play a variety of notes due to the handy slider. The closer the sliders are to one another, the higher the pitch. This can also be constructed with many of the household items you probably currently own. The advantage of this harmonica is that it's portable, it's interchangeable in case it gets warped. You can change colors, it could be disassembled, and the rubber bands could be used as your hair accessories. So why don't you be fashionable at your next party and impress your friends with this handy dandy harmonica? So in conclusion, to Team 5, we have met all our requirements regarding size and cost. All the instruments are all capable of playing notes with adequate training. Thank you.